Alright, so Metro's faction battle. We have Hansa versus the Bandits. This is going to be an intense, just clusterfuck. I will warn you though, I was commentating in action, so you're going to hear a lot of mixed voices. I'm going to try and speak kind of louder and boost the volume over it when I talk and commentate, because this is a dub. This is like me just like reading afterwards and just talking about the shit that happens. So, let's get into the fray here. So right now we have Hansa, they're moving upwards, which is exactly what you want to do in this kind of situation. You want to get to that center point as soon as you can. Now the Bandits, they're doing they just like pull up and fuck the ops up. Like I thought, for a minute, I'm going to be for real. I mean, Hansa might beat me up, Knack might come over here and like assault me. But I thought Hansa was going to take the W in this first, 5-ish minutes of the match. Not even 5 minutes, maybe somewhere between like 2 minutes. Either way, Hansa got shredded in the beginning right there, and it was spooky. It was a little freaky, I will not lie to you. I was worried a bit for the poor Hansilians. So right now, we're just going to continue on. I decided that I'm going to, instead of doing dev cam, because I want to be able to see the chat, see if there's anything going on. Yeah, Hansa right there. Looks like, I think, Knack or Maiden just completely bananaed all over that poor son of a nut. So, yeah, here's me talking a little bit in the game, so I do apologize. I can always come back later and just remove completely the in-game audio, but I do want to showcase the kind of sound design and the sound effects that is happening inside of the station. Hansa right now, they're going to continue holding that little corner right there. It looks like if they weren't through that hallway right there, if you look to the right there, Hansa would have just gotten beamed by the guys back there. And now, Bandits, they're going to hold that position. They want to hold that position because right there, that is a choke point. That is a great choke point that people are going to want to hold. It's a powerful position, so they're going to want to stick it out right there. Hansa, that's a really tricky spot because if someone pushes up, they don't have people covering really exactly. So if someone suppresses Hansa in that corner right there, it looks like Chris just made a push. He's going to be covering that position. If Hansa moves up, just like that guy just ran right through, he is deader than a doornail. He is gone, eradicated. Now Hansa, it looks like, I think that was General, who's a little bit beat up right there. If he can hold that position and just continue watching, he can maybe secure a bit of a W. Also, if I sound a bit weird, I don't have my AC on, and I am, like, burning. My room is, like, 90 degrees right now, so my AC is loud as shit. And now there's Chris, who is gone. His gun is, like, embedded in the ceiling. Alright, so Mr. Purple Cape, this guy, he's a little bit fishy to me. He's not, like, hacking. I just don't see the point in having a bright purple, like, cape on your ass, but you know what, to each their own, I don't judge. Now the Bandits, they like this position. They like it. They're kind of forced to like it because that's a giant choke point right there. It's not as severe as the choke point we'll see later on, but it is a major position that they're gonna want to have in order to really successfully defend this part of the station. So we have more Bandit reinforcements. They have just kind of rolled up. It looks like they're gonna start pushing back because I'm pretty sure they're noticing that Hansa is starting to really take control over that position. And if they're really smart, they don't want to do a tactical retreat. I think they want to have that guy just holding that position. They're going to want people there to really just kind of slow them down as much as they can so they can get embedded into positions, and there they go. There goes the Bandit defenders that are remaining there. Yeah, Knack is a goddamn legend. This motherfucker just pulled through, just clapped, cladoodled, labada befucked, just all those guys. Yeah, right there. Yeah. Yeah, right there. Shut up, older me. You're interrupting, you piece of shit. Fuck you. God damn it. Yeah, I don't know how Chris was alive right then and there. He was quite befuddling. A little bamboozling even. But the point is, Chris is alive still. I don't know for how long. Yeah, right there. That is one of the things that I noticed early kind of on at this kind of point where the Bandits actually kind of start taking up their defensive positions. Knack has his funny spot right there, as I was stating. So, right now, the Bandits, they're going to want to just really suppress. I feel like that's going to be the only thing they're going to be able to really use in order to get, like, pushing us. To use suppression mechanics to... Whatever the hell I'm saying, yes, totally, I agree. But, there's, like, a 99% chance that Hansa is really dogging on him. So, this position, as I said prior, is really scuffed for the Bandits. They're going to be really held down, really pinned down. Hansa, they have all that cover right there. Bandits, the only cover they have are those, like, side walls next to the doorways. So that's a big issue. That is a big issue for the Bandits. They're going to be held down really hard. Now, you probably just saw me pick up a gun. I am doing that because I want to clean up the map a little bit, because those guns can get a little laggy and a little janky. So I want to just toss them away. Yeah, he has... Yeah, I had to give some people Avalanche as our community managers or faction managers avatar, because they had, like, they didn't have the blocky avatar, which was kind of a, I wouldn't say a downside, but it was kind of unfair because it makes them a smaller target. I don't know if you guys heard what I just said, but I did say that Bandits are going to have to do some really tricky things to get out of this one. They're going to have to really cooperate and work together in order to, like, exit out of this situation. Because there's a lot that they have to their downside right here, and it's hugely negative. Hansa right now, they not only outnumber them, but they outposition them. They have position, they have cover, they have all that kind of stuff that the Bandits don't really have. The choke point is extremely difficult to get out of. Yeah, that push right there was pretty decent. That was a beautiful little maneuver. Alright, so I just did kind of a magical thing. I just realized I can turn up my microphone volume inside of CapCut, so hopefully I am not, like, molesting your ears. Anyways, you don't care about that, we're here for the fighting. So, Hansa right now, they are heavily suppressing this poor bastard over here, so he is, like, holding that position. Now, that position, it is really good, because you have a full view of that corner right there. I'm kind of pointing to it in the game. You can really take out those guys who are back behind that boxes. So if you can hold that position really professionally and just kind of suppress down there, you have a full... People can really push over to your side where you are suppressing them and really push up and just really secure things. Let's see, we got Benny, who is covering his friend. That is a good thing to see. Well, his friend doesn't need covering anymore, but it was good to see while it was happening. Right now, that is a dangerous play that Darth, I think is his name, just made. But at the same time, that is still just a beautiful little maneuver that he just did, just run across it. Now, there's one guy who has a really funny fish hat, and, like, the entire battle, I didn't, like, make my feelings known, but I was, like, staking out for him that he better goddamn, like, clutch up for the Bandits. Knack, fuck me, Knack has been, wow, yeah. Someone just, yeah, swallowed weird. Anyways. Yeah, that spot right there, that is a really cheeky little angle. That is a funny spot. I approve fully of that funny little angle, so you get a sticker or some shit. I don't know. DM me for your prize, and you might get, like, a high five or, like, toe pick. I mean, not toe picks, but anyways. So, right here, that's what you kind of want to do. You want to just pop shots, really keep them hold down. That's what's really going to just really help you out, Bandits. Next time, I suggest that when you're in especially a tight spot like that, prioritize cover fire, and lastly, cover fire. Those are, like, the three big things you really want to use. You want to be able to suppress your enemies, keep their heads low so your teammates can push forward. Now, I'm not going to shit on any of the teams. They all played really well, and I'm very impressed with each person's playing and how well they did it. But I will say that this is completely new combat to a lot of these people. This is not, like, really Fallout. This is close quarters, constant, just chaotic fighting. This is something that, sure, fighting can be chaotic in Fallout games or in other PvP games, but this is so much centered around close quarters combat. And close quarters combat is messy. It is dangerous. It is hard to fight in. And I don't take blame, and I don't think any of the teams should beat themselves up if they won, lost. I don't think there should be any. There's always places teams can improve on, and factions and players can improve on, but in reality, you do not know those skills until you've tested them out. No, the funny fish hat guy just died. All right, that's out of here. What I did appreciate is that, especially with Hansa, is the cooperation was, I like smelled it. I smelled it. It was a delicious smell. So Hansa, they really just pushed forwards and they really secured things. They really worked together as a team. I won't show a picture of this because I don't really have a picture of it, but Hansa was in 2 separate VCs. At one point they had, I think, 10 people and 5 was in 2 VCs, and I was like, I'm pretty sure they separated into squads, and I'm like, that is... Oh, never mind. He just fucking... Yeah, he is kaput. He is evaporated. So, but yeah, as I noticed is that Hansa was split into 2 different VCs. They were like a squad. They were doing like some squad shit, which was really cool to see. I like seeing that kind of teamwork where you have actual faith in your comrades to really execute plans as squads. And that's really good to see. Anyways, back to more in-game commentary. It looks like right now Bandits... Oh, they are pushing in. Chris just did that. Chris is dead. However, it was a good push. Right now, Knack has that position up there. That is really troubling them. Let's see, Fishak. Get him. Get him. Yeah, there we go. So Knack is down. It looks like Sabbath right there has just made a push. I can't tell if that's Sabbath or not, to be honest. My screen is really small right now where I am recording. So, yeah, Sabbath pulled up. He gunned down, I think, 3 of them. But the problem is the Bandits have just taken back that position. They are now holding that. So Hansa needs to think of something, how they can recapture that position, re-push forward, and secure that position once more to force him back into that. I'm not sure what Bro was thinking, but he had a plan, and I'm not one to judge his plan. However, it was a bad one. So, right now, okay, there's no more of that guy. He is gone. All right. So, yeah, Bandits, they just need to hold that position. Right now, that just fucked them over. That push just screwed them up. There's only 2 people left. You have Benny and Chris. I think that's Chris. I can't tell. No, it's Chris and... Or, no, it's not Chris. It's like Montai or Mantai. I don't know. But right now, if those 2 can just hold out and wait for the reinforcements, that is going to be massive. That is what they need. Right now, flashlights, they are really capable. They are really, really good. Especially in this close quarters, because flashlights, they have the ability to blind players. Like, if you're looking at a flashlight, it'll, like, blare up your screen. It'll look like a damn flashbang went off if you're in a dark room. So, people can really use those flashlights to their advantage, because if you can just make it so people can't see, boom. That's going to help you tons. So, Bandits, they just got their reinforcements up there, so they're going to start holding. It looks like Fish Hat Man is pushing up. He nearly just got erased off the planet. So, yeah, Hansa right now, they're doing a great job of just holding this angle. This is a really tricky angle for them to hold because it's such a wide area, but there's a lot of cover. Okay, he just pushed up and died instantly. Right now, I am showcasing how the graphics differences can be kind of game-breaking. You know, now it's a lot difficult to hide in corners where it's dark because if you have low graphics, it's kind of a cheat. So, I'm still figuring out ways we can change that and fix that, but... That'll come at a later date, hopefully sometime sooner or later. Damn, I have, like, not talked this long in a long-ass time. But anyways, more importantly, Hansa is taking back that position. So Bandits, they're back from the start into a truffle-wuckle. And it is not very good. It isn't a good situation. So, as for Hansa right now, they can't really push into there because, one, I would be mad because that's like kind of spawn camping, but it's also just a really dangerous area in general because the Bandits are covering that. They have that doorway. It's going to be pretty much just mirrored over what Hansa is doing to the Bandits right now, where they kind of have all that cover. In depth, it'll just be a giant clusterfuck for the Hansa if they try and push further. So, right now they're doing a great thing by just holding down that choke point. That is really what's going to boost their kill count and really possibly get them the win. Right now, kills. Benny is climbing up in the kills for the Bandits. Now, Knack is going, I can't really see right now, but it looks like 20-5. Now, if you're not familiar with ACS and all that, but that is a pretty damn good kill-death ratio. So that is really impressive. It looks like General is also crawling his way up to there too. Now that's an impressive thing to have. That's a good thing to have. You want to be able to have teammates who are effective in this combat, and that's just overall a great thing that, you know, enjoy. I wouldn't say enjoy. It's not really enjoyable for the enemy team when you're getting hornswoggled by two guys, but it's a good thing to have that kind of, your high rankings are really good at combat, and that really boosts your players to also kind of meet their legacy or meet their level by, you know, engaging fully on really hard combat and get a lot of kills. So I'm going to shut up for a minute because, quite frankly, I have been talking nonstop and I'm going to, like, die, so I'll, like, pop back in when something more interesting happens. You might hear me talking in game a little bit too, so just, yeah. I think right now what the beta should prioritize, it looks as if the betas are really just trying to work solo. Especially for quarters combat. Especially down that way. I love this idea of having a choke point here, but I'm Alright, I am back. I didn't want to just start off yelling because, you know, that's scary. That's spooky. Anyways, so you might have heard me saying a little bit more there about the choke point here. This choke point, and I have said it a lot, is incredibly extreme. It is really difficult to break out of, and that is something I do intend on changing pretty soon here. I want to add more cover into that kind of open, I wouldn't say court, but that kind of open area just right there, and just adding some more cover for the, I'm going to say, attackers, who are the vultures, to really be able to more better defend and push forwards. Because let's be real, that's not a very fair position for the bandits to be in. While the battle was in fact fair and it was very close, it was a great battle, there's certainly some things I do want to adjust for later in future battles. But you're not here for dev talk, once more, you're here for the fun combat. So right now we have Hansa, who are very limited in their numbers now here. There are what looks to be, yeah, there's just one guy left in that quarter. So if bandits pushed up right then, they could have had a far better chance. However, the Hansa pulled up and they reformed back there, and the bandits lost their chance to resecure that position. Now you can see that he just tried to, but that didn't really end so well. So overall, it's still, that would have been a really good position, but I do think the Hansa would have probably retaken it because they had the numerical superiority right then and there, with all those guys coming fresh from spawn with their guns, just ready to just shit on people. There goes that bozo. He is gone. R.I.P. Benny. Yeah, you certainly see me here and there grabbing the guns and throw them away. As I said, it does create lag, and especially if you're prone, they get in the way, and it's just stupid. So I'll be removing the dropping guns on death. So one thing that is pretty prevalent is how much more improved the lag is compared to the last faction battle that we had here. I won't go too in detail on that, but there's been a lot of changes that I changed directly to ACSM that have completely reduced the lag. So there is still any more lag though. I can still optimize a little bit more, but I still wanted to have some immersion left. Like ragdolls, I can completely remove those and that will like eradicate lag. But you know, immersion's nice. Anyways, again, who cares about dev talk? Let's get into the fight. So the bandits, they are Chris. I've taken a notice to Chris here. He has been doing a very, very nice job of just applying constant pressure. He has been each time he dies, he doesn't like hold back in there. He goes straight back into this core area. He is immediately into the fight. He doesn't really take cover back behind those logs back there in that back area. Not saying that's a bad thing if you do that, but he prefers to just get right into there and hold that position. That is what you really like to see, especially in this tunnel and station combat where you need to really focus on holding certain choke points in areas. Right now, Hansa has the deadliest choke point, but still, this is still a choke point that they need to hold and have a position in. You'll see why that's important pretty soon here. I don't know if it's going to happen like in the next few like seconds, but it'll happen shortly. Just how important having this little cover and just having that little position right there comes into play. So with Hansa, I am appreciating just how much cooperation they're making. It's important to have that kind of combative teamwork, especially in this kind of an environment. Oh, he's wiggling. He did the wiggle. All right. So yeah, I am so happy that man survived. That was a beautiful wiggle. I can't really see your name, but man, whoever you are, you're a Chad, and I love your hat too. I did read it, and that's beautiful. If you guys have not read it, it says, "Fish fear me, people fear me, I am a threat." So I don't know how that got past Roblox moderation, but it did, and I'm happy about it. So right here we have Hansa's numbers are kind of limited down here on this frontline part. It seems like they're kind of pushing a little bit more back and focusing, prioritizing on that kind of I wouldn't call it a gateway, but that kind of area where it's a position in, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, I guess you could say it's a little walkway, a little gateway, but that little position right there, that's important for them to hold, even when they're trying to hold this area that I'm in right now. But because it's a position where if something goes majorly long on the front lines, they can just pull back and have people already there covering that spot right there. So the bandits, even if they kill everyone down there, they're still going to have to deal with 2 or 3 guys who are back there holding that and waiting for reinforcements. And that's completely necessary and important to sustaining a great defensive. It's just having that position where you can fall back and you can really hold. Offensively, I feel like the bandits, they should be prioritizing suppressive fire. Man, like, that is one thing I noticed that the bandits aren't really using to their advantage, is because there is suppression mechanics in ACSM. And if they just cover where those positions are and have people move forwards, if they have just 2 dedicated guys in that doorway right there that I'm looking at, just sitting there with their machine guns, and they just laser the positions of where there's like 2 or so guys, and then have the rest of the team just push up to where maybe Chris is, and then while the guys suppressing or reloading, then they fire once more, and then maybe an additional guy gets added into the fray who is near where Chris is, and then the rest of them just move forward whilst the enemy are being suppressed. I feel like that could really help later on, is just using that suppression. Another thing worth mentioning, there's also ricochets. If you're really lucky, you could nail a metal part and a shell will bounce off and strike some poor bastard. And that's something that'll really help. That is something that is really useful. So just keep in mind that next time you have a lot of physics on your side within the offensive point of the game. So yeah, just continuously firing and just really pushing them down to the ground. That'll help. You're gonna always kind of want that kind of suppression. Just always kind of have that dedicated guy. And as I mentioned prior and right there in the gameplay, it is chaotic. It is dramatic. It is intense. It is a fight that is quite difficult for both sides to really be able to succeed and really push forward effectively. Well, the bandits, they're in kind of a bad spot, as I mentioned prior, but they still, it's chaotic, and there's no reason for people to judge or shit talk them for maybe a lack of coordination from time to time, even though it does feel like right there, like right past there where all 3 of those guys ran through, that was pretty coordinated. That was a great move. That's what you want to see. So, in total, I think that there's a lot of benefits to this chaos. There's a lot of things that Hansa is using to their advantage to successfully, really capture that position and just really hold down the bandits. Right there, we just saw, I don't remember your name, but you have mad cake on that booty. Right there, perfect. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to see. You want to have people always kind of there, because if people push up like Knack, you silly monkey, you're going to want people to be able to just shoot them down and just really hold that down. That's still a choke point for you, even though you're in a choke point yourself. Yeah, so as I was saying, just if you sit there and work on just prioritizing survival, eventually you will likely succeed. You need to always put your life first, because keep in mind, this is based off of kills. If the enemy has 100 kills, they win, basically. So you need to be able to just hold back and really heal up and make sure that you're prioritizing your defensiveness and your health. Because what makes people lose is the fact that they're dying. Fuck, dude, I gotta turn on my AC soon. Like, gone up from 90 to 100 in this bitch-ass room. It's got no insulation. Anyways. Yeah, so I already said this before, but having that high kill death ratio will kind of help your soldiers realize, like, yo, my high comm isn't fucking around. They're doing their shit, and so I should do the same. That, at least in my experience, that's what I've seen before, is just having that, high comm that is able to really hold their own in battle. That will drastically help your soldiers be able to operate and fight better. This part's kind of silly. Hello, Maiden. Hello, Maiden. Probably like pronouncing his name wrong, but oh well. Another thing I did notice is I don't want to call people bad or anything, but it is important to realize that Knack in general, who are sort of kind of carrying a little bit the Hansa, while there are certainly Hansa getting kills, and that is overall completely appreciated for their possible victory. Their just overall teamwork and cooperation, especially between General and Knack, who are capable of getting those kills, that is massive to just setting an example and just being the leaders that they can be. Yeah, it looks, as I said there, it looks like Hansa has lost some people in their game. I don't know if they crashed. If you guys did crash due to lag or anything, DM me. Let me know if there was lag, because that's important data that I need in order to really improve the faction battlegrounds. It does look like maybe Bandits lost a few guys too, or one or two. But by the looks of things, it looks like they do still have that kind of people still active there. So yeah, right here I notice is that they are using that really for cover to secure this kind of doorway, and that's really, really effective. Just having that position right there to kind of really cover that doorway. You have a full view and you have that cover right there. That is really good. This entire time, I was really surprised to not see people behind that campfire barrel right there. I feel like that's a pretty good position to really cover that doorway too. So, keep that in mind next time. Yeah, Patriotic just counted that push. Looks like that might have been Chris. I'm not too sure. Now, at this point, we are at the final stretch of the game, of the match, and this is where things get the most stressful. Bandits, they still have the chance to take a W here, but it will be really unlikely and really difficult for them to get it due to their positioning in that choke point. So if bandits can just continue to survive and just keep them back, then they still have that chance. Because eventually, Hansa, if they are going to want to win, they're going to need to push forwards. So if bandits just play the long game and wait to stay put, they're going to have that choke point to themselves. They're going to be able to really engage. This is a pretty new environment compared to where they were. So, yeah, I do kind of find it really cool that all the hands are right there. They're just chilling out, and then you have, I think, Patriotic right there just hanging. And then Benny's position right there, that's a great spot. I took a note to that, and now it's an incredible position right there. However, Hansa, just due to their manpower and just their capabilities, it's not likely at this point for a bandit win. Yes, Knack is moving up here. I totally just fucked up Knack's shooting. Yeah, I sorry, Knack, if I got in the way of your bullets, by the way. Yeah, it looks like that's Chris right there. Chris is having, that position is always going to be pretty decent. That's going to be a tough position to break. Oh, there goes Chris. Yeah, bandits right now, that's really all they can hold now. Oh, there he goes. That's game. All right. Well, that was the this is the first commentating Metro's battle that I have done. If people like it, I'll certainly do more. If you guys like my sexy voice, then I will for sure do more. Now, one thing that's kind of funny is I did remove tools, which just removes tools, yet for some reason, people kept their tools. Which is really silly to me, but I don't really care all that much because, you know, the game was ended anyway, so the kills didn't really matter anymore, but, you know. As I said, I hope you guys did enjoy this. If you guys want more, we intend on hosting more battles. Additionally, I'm sure there's people in Tetrad and in Redline who are curious about the progress of their uniforms and all that kind of stuff, so they can really get into the fray like this too. Just want to let you guys know that things are on the way. We right now have the Redline uniforms, but we do not have your gear or anything like that. Tetrad stuff should be coming soon. As for Polis and any other factions that I could have possibly missed, you guys will get your stuff. It's just a matter of time. As I said, I hope you guys did enjoy this. If you did, feedback is always good. All right, peace.